Hello. I just wanted to talk about something. When I was at the psychiatrist on Friday, he asked me like when things had started, and I said that I wasn't sure exactly because I'm not. But I remember the anxiety and the OCD started at least when I was like 7 or 8, and like I told him that around that time my mom took me to, I don't know if it's a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a counselor, what exactly it was. I don't even remember if the person was a male or female. But my mom took me, and I don't remember saying anything. I remember hiding behind like a couch or love seat or chair or something like that, and being scared out of my mind and not wanting to say anything. I don't remember anything about that other than that. Apparently, though, the person wanted me to be admitted to a psychiatric hospital, like inpatient. And I remember my mom asking me if that's what I wanted, and like I remember not really understanding what was going on and what it meant. I said yes, but I was a little kid. I didn't really understand what the hell it meant, and like that never happened when I was little. Like I never actually went inpatient when I was little or anything. But after that, it was pretty much brushed under the rug. It was something that wasn't talked about, wasn't dealt with, and it was something I was supposed to just get over pretty much, or at least pretend like it didn't exist. And that has really fucked me up, honestly. That among other shit. Sorry for my language. But it's really messed me up because I grew up not understanding what was going on in my mind. Not understanding that it wasn't my fault and it didn't make me a bad person. Not understanding that there are ways to get better. That there are ways to cope with it. And that there are people out there who understand and are going to be there for me and help me through this. And the messages that I got were, you shouldn't do this, stop doing it, why the hell are you doing this, what the hell is wrong with you, just stop it, kind of a thing. And I honestly don't remember anyone helping me to understand what was going on, or explaining it to me, or anything like that. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. And I also remember, like, my mom would go into my brother's room at that point in time. They shared a room, and she'd tell them goodnight stories or talk to them before they went to bed and say that they love them, she loves them, and tuck them into bed and all that. And she rarely ever, at least from what I can remember, would do that, especially after the whole thing happened. And I feel like she blames me or thinks that I'm a bad person for it, for something I couldn't control and that I didn't want to have happen at all. And it just, like, to this day, I still kind of feel like that. And I feel like I can't bring it up with her or to her because she wouldn't react well at all. Because there are times when I bring something up to her and she flips out. And I've pretty much no doubt that she would react that way. Or be like, well, why aren't you over it, kind of a thing by now. Like, it's been this long. You should just be over it. And it kind of sort of sucks, and it hurts, really hurts, because I needed someone to help me see that it was something that was wrong with my brain. That there's a malfunction, a glitch in my brain, and it wasn't anything that I had done. It wasn't anything wrong with me as a person. That I was still loved, and I was still lovable. And I remember this one time, I can't remember how old I was. It's probably about 7 or 8, maybe 9 or 10. Something like that. And I was over at my paternal grandparents' apartment, and they were going to take us swimming, or my grandmother was going to take us swimming at least, or she was looking into swim lessons, something like that, swimming lessons, and I don't know if I had to go to the bathroom, or if I just, like, my mind was telling me I had to wash my hands, but I was being obsessive compulsive in regards to that, and she was just like, well, I'm trying to do this for you, so why are you doing that? Just stop it, kind of a thing. And, like, I have other issues with her, but it's just, like, what the hell? You're not even trying to understand. You're just judging me and assuming that I'm doing it to be obnoxious, assuming that I can just stop it, when that wasn't the case. And I remember in 5th grade, we had our core subjects, math, science, English, and social studies, split into 2 different teachers. And one teacher would teach some of them, and the other would teach the others. And the one that I don't remember if it was when we were learning social studies or English, but the one who taught that, I remember this one day I kept having to get up in class and go wash my hands. And this was in my elementary school. We had bathrooms in the halls, but like separate rooms in the halls and in different locations. And then we had in the classrooms, we had bathrooms that had like the toilet, the paper towel, or not paper towel, the toilet paper and all that was in a separate room within the larger classroom, and then a sink and a water fountain was out near there, but within the larger classroom and not within the bathroom. And I kept having to get up to wash my hands because they just felt dirty, and my mom kept telling me that I had to do it. And instead of asking why I was doing that or anything like that, all that happened was I had to stay after. Like, I don't remember if we were going to lunch or recess or back to the other classroom, which was right next door, or we were going for the day. We were leaving for the day. I don't remember what it was. But I had to stay after with other people who were being troublemakers. And I wasn't being a troublemaker. I wasn't trying to do it to be a distraction. I was doing it because I had to. And I'm just like, if my teacher had said something, had asked me questions about why I was doing that, maybe I could have actually gotten the help that I needed back then, instead of suffering so flipping long in silence and just having my problems add up and accumulate to the point where it's just like, there are a lot of times when I just want to say screw it and give up on everything, because it doesn't seem like I can overcome it. Doesn't seem like it's possible at this point. Sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but there are times. Hold on a second. I just wish that someone had actually said something. Had actually asked how I was, or anything like that. And I hate the fact that when I was in my sophomore year of high school, I went to my counselor and was asking for help because, like I just mentioned, like the depression, anxiety, the OCD, and I think I may or may not have mentioned suicidal thoughts. I can't remember at this point. I didn't mention self-injury because I didn't want her saying anything. I mean, I didn't want her saying anything. I didn't want anyone to know in real life. There are people online who knew, but I didn't want anyone in real life to know because I didn't want them to freak out. I didn't want them to try to control it, to try to make me stop or anything like that. It was my dirty little secret, and that's the way that I wanted it. Sorry, my throat's messed up, by the way. Yeah, I sound like crap, I know. Yeah. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so I went to her and asked for help, and it took every ounce of courage and me, and then some, to make an appointment with her, and then to actually go and speak up. And you know what my reward was for that? She didn't do anything about it. She didn't call my mom and ask call my mom and ask her to come in and discuss what was going on with me there, or anything like that. She actually, as far as I know, didn't do jack shit about the situation until she called me in to talk about something else. I think it was to do with one of my classes. And I accidentally, like, I was gonna wear one outfit that I would have been fine, but I wound up waking up with a stomach ache, so I didn't want to wear the outfit that I was going to originally wear because I figured it was gonna bother my stomach too much. And so I had some cuts on my hip, or on my hips, I don't remember which, and she accidentally wound up seeing them. And I'm still pissed off about this to this day. She assumed, first off, that they were from self-injury. She assumed that I had just started. Didn't even ask any questions. Didn't find out any of the basics. And then she called my mom up. Well, my mom was at work, and told my mom that I had been cutting. And she didn't even have my mom come in, like call my mom and have my mom come in to talk to her face to face, or anything like that. It was just, she told my mom over the phone while my mom was at work. And it just, somehow or another that day though, I managed to not cut for 12 hours afterwards, even though she pretty much just left me to deal with the pieces, deal with the aftermath of my mom finding out, which was not fun at all. And to this day, I still don't know how much my mom actually understands about it, because we don't necessarily talk about that kind of stuff, unfortunately. So, yeah. And I don't know, I just hate the fact that I ask for help and I get kicked in the gut, and the chains that are around me that are pulling me under just get yanked that much harder under, and pulling me that much further under. Yeah. And also, this one time in high school, I had blades on me. I had blades on me like a zillion times in school, and I know you're not supposed to, but yeah, I needed to. I was addicted. Unfortunately, I needed, or at least thought I needed, really bad, to be able to cut at school. Especially because, I'm not saying school is the only reason why I cut, but school tended to be stressful. Especially because I didn't really fit in, and I didn't really have people I could talk to in school. I mean, at various times I did have some people that I could kind of sort of talk to, but yeah. But anyway, so I was in my counselor's office, and I can't remember exactly how she wound up finding out that I had blades on me. But anyway, I wound up having to go to the office, and some of the assistant principals at my school and the sheriff, the county sheriff, who is the liaison at my school, or at least was, I don't know if he still is at this point, because it's been several years. Seeing as I graduated in 2009, and that happened in 2006, I want to say, or 2007, something like that. But anyway, so they asked if I would give them my blades, and I did. Like, I gave them the thing that had my blades, and then I let them search my bag. But as far as I know, they didn't search my locker, so I could have had stuff in my locker, though I didn't. But anyway, they gave me back the thing that had my blades in, and it still had a blade in it. And stupidly, actually I think at that point it was because I kind of wanted help, and I kind of wanted to get better. I went to my counselor the next day and gave her the other blade. But anyway, I didn't get in trouble for having blades. I think it was partially because I willingly gave them up. Not to say that I wanted to get in trouble for having blades, but yeah. And then they were saying like stuff like, oh well, we'll check in on you from time to time. Things will be okay. Things will get better. and all this BS. And never once did they check in on me to see how I was doing. And I know I shouldn't, but there were multiple occasions when I had bullies on me after they knew that I had had bullies on me once, and I would walk by some of the assistant principals because they used to help monitor the halls. I don't know if they still do that or not, but anyway, and I'd feel superior because they should have a clue, but they apparently had no flipping clue. And it just made me feel like I had some kind of power because they had no flipping clue. So, yeah. I don't know. Going back to the beginning, sorry. No, let's put it this way. Going back to my relationship with my mom, like, at this point, I kind of depend on her to get around because I still don't have my license or a car. And I love her. Honestly, I love her. But there are times when she gets on my nerves to no end, and I just want to scream at her and just distance myself from her, because otherwise I'm just going to blow up at her and it's just going to become a nightmare. Like, I was out on Sunday with my family, and Saturday, and my mom was just getting on my nerves because she put some money in my account. She put like $5 into my account, and I kept asking her, because we were out shopping, I was like, can I get this, like stuff that I needed, like food and all that, and she's like, are you going to buy that for yourself, and I was just getting flipping pissed off, because she was expecting me to buy everything, yet I only had a certain amount of money, and I didn't want to spend everything at once, and I wasn't even sure how much I had, so I just had to walk away, and then she got mad at me and kept calling me, having my sister call me, to find where the hell I was when I was trying to get away from her, because she was getting on my nerves, and I needed to calm down, and it was just like, I don't know. Hold on a second. I just wish that I could actually talk to my mom openly and honestly, because, like, in the past, she had said, oh, you can talk to me about anything. If you need to talk to me, I'm here for you. And then certain things, if I try to talk to her about them, it just goes really badly, and it's not worth it. And, like, there are things that happened in the past that I feel like I need to talk to her about, and to get her side of the story, and to understand why she let certain things happen, like, especially things involving David, and, like, all of the abuse and all that, because some of the times she was there when he would be abusive, and I remember at least a few times she would tell him to stop once or twice, he wouldn't, and she'd give up, and that would just be that. Or she'd be, like, at work or something, and I'd call her and tell her, and she'd, like, this one time at least, she came and picked me up, and that was about it. Like, as far as I know, she didn't do anything to him, or not to him, but she didn't talk to him, she didn't do anything about it, and it's just, like, it just makes me feel like maybe there's something wrong with me and I deserve to be treated like that, or maybe because of thoughts that I had when I was little that I told her about, that she seems to have misunderstood, or seems to have misremembered, because she thinks that, or she seems to think that it was, as far as I can remember, it was thoughts of harm coming to my sister, not thoughts of me harming my sister when she was a baby, which is actually not uncommon in OCD, in people who have OCD, but I didn't know that at that point in time. I just was scared, and I didn't want those thoughts, and I wanted them to stop, and I told my parents, and it just didn't make things any better. It made things way worse, and it's just, you know, God damn it. there are times when I really wish that I could go back to my 7 or 8-year-old self and let her know that it isn't her fault, that there's nothing wrong with her as a person, that it's not her fault that she has these thoughts and feels these urges to do things that are irrational and don't make sense and make people mad at her. It's not her fault that she's being abused. It's not her fault that she's being neglected. It's not her fault at all. Because no one was there to say that to me. And it just totally warped who I am. And I'm not trying to say that who I am now is purely other people's faults. I'm not. I am responsible for my own actions. And I admit that, freely admit that. But when you're a little kid and you don't understand what the hell's going on, you need someone there who's on your side, who's going to flipping protect you, who's not going to let someone hurt you, who's not going to make you feel like shit and make you feel like you're unloved and unlovable and worthless and a piece of crap because of things that you can't control, because of things that you don't even want to have happen. You're supposed to fucking have that. But guess what? I didn't, and it fucking sucks. And I wish I could go back and be that for myself. Because it's ugh. And I feel like crying, but I can't cry right now. Probably wind up crying, maybe. I don't know. Just really pissed off that no one was there for me. Even when I reached out, it just wound up getting effed up. And that's part of why I'm afraid that me trying to get help this time is just going to get messed up again. Because it has pretty much every other flipping time. Okay, this is 22 minutes. I'm going to stop it now. Excuse me. Take care and stay strong, everyone. Sorry for the rant and messed up video. Love you, everyone.